All right, I hope you're doing well. I'm recording this video for spring term 2025. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through the assignments for the introduction week. This would be assignments 0.2, and 0.3. Here, we're just making sure that you can log into the Azure Lab environment, the Microsoft Azure Lab environment that we're going to use for this course, as well as creating a Cisco Net Academy account and getting logged into the Cisco Packet Tracer. And a couple notes about the last item, the Cisco Packet Tracer, installing this software. If you have checked out a laptop from Green River College, or perhaps for some reason you don't have administrative access to your PC, you will need to have somebody else install that software for you, especially in the first case where you have checked out a laptop from Green River. If you've done that, go upstairs to the second floor of the TC building where our class has been meeting and have them help you install that. They can do that pretty quickly. They have administrative access as far as I know. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen out. And here you can see that we are on the Canvas page for this class. I'm going to go ahead and scroll up here. And the first thing that we're going to do, I'm going to show you here, is the Net Academy environment. If you don't have an account on Net Academy, you're going to click this link right here. And I recommend center clicking with the mouse scroll wheel. That will bring it up in a new tab. You're going to go ahead and click the login button. And here is where you will log in if you have an account. If you don't have an account, go down to the bottom right here and click sign up. And we'll go ahead and put in our country. For me, that's going to be the United States. I'm going to go ahead and put Washington. And then I am going to go ahead and put in a birth year. And I will use March of 1928 this time. And I will hit continue. I'll put in my first name. And I'll put in my email address. And please use your Green River student email address. Okay. Use your Green River student email address. You will use this account in IT 114, IT 210, and IT 310 as well. So please use your Green River email account. Okay. Your student.greenriver.edu. Okay. And then you'll create a password. Okay. So password. Okay. And click create account. Once you have clicked create account, you will receive an email at the email address you used, your student email address. So go to your student email address, activate your account. Once you have activated your account and you're able to log in, go back to Canvas and you're going to scroll down to course introduction activities. You're going to click on each of these four links: computer hardware basics, OS hardware basics or operating system basics. Actually, that should say OS basics. And networking basics. And then finally, introduction to cybersecurity. So go ahead and click get started. It's going to have me log in. So you will take a screenshot of this for your assignment this week, one of your introduction assignments, and then you'll do a very similar thing for OS basics, networking basics, and introduction to cybersecurity. So we'll click Get Started. And again, make sure that you see IT 114, or our class number, spring 2025, my last name, Hart, and then the name of the course. So there should be four total that you're enrolling in. Okay. You'll take a screenshot of each of those and put them into a Word document for this assignment right here. The next thing I'm going to do is demonstrate how to get a hold of Packet Tracer. Okay. You go to this link right here, download Cisco Packet Tracer. And again, I'm going to center click. Oop, do that one more time. And you're going to scroll down about a third of the way, halfway to a third of the way. And you have three different versions here: Mac OS, Ubuntu, Linux, and Windows 64-bit. Download the appropriate version and then go ahead and install it. Once you've got it installed, you're going to go back to Canvas and you can scroll down to, or rather scroll up to log into Packet Tracer. And you can either click this link right here and then download it, or you can click this arrow right here, and that will allow you to download the Packet Tracer file. And all you're going to do is go ahead and run this file, go to downloads, and then click this arrow. And it does take a moment usually for it to boot up. So give it a moment. A little bit of patience goes a long way here. You might get a pop-up. Go ahead and allow it. So you're gonna come up to a screen that looks something like this, and you can go ahead and click Cisco Networking Academy and log in. If for some reason that doesn't work, come back to the screen and click on Skills for All. And once you get a message like this, you can go ahead and go back to Cisco Packet Tracer. Let's do this. And what you'll do here is take a screenshot of this and go ahead and capture the Cisco Packet Tracer bar up at the top that shows the file name from one corner down to the opposite corner, showing today's date and time, or not today's date and time, but the date and time that you are doing the work. Okay. And that is just demonstrating that you are able to log into Cisco Packet Tracer. We're going to come back to this application throughout the course, and you will use it several times. So uh, we just want to make sure that you have access. I'm going to go ahead and minimize this window. The next thing we want to do is make sure that you have access to your lab environment in the Azure website, the lab's website. Again, we'll go back to our Canvas page for this class, and we can click on this link here. Again, I'm going to center click so that it pops up in a new tab. Okay. Center click the mouse wheel, and boom, it opens up in a new tab. I'm going to go ahead and log in. And you're going to get to a page that looks something like this. Yours will look a little bit different. But what you're going to do is you should have access to this lab environment. If you do not, go back to your email for April 1st, look at around 7:30 in the morning, and you should have an email from Microsoft Azure. Microsoft Azure, and the subject line will start register for lab dash IT 114. You should have received that email. We've also gone over this in class, but I am recording this video just to uh, make sure that everyone has a chance to get logged in and complete this work. It'll make the course go a lot smoother throughout the term. We're going to go ahead and click this toggle button here that says stopped. And it will take about 2 minutes to boot up. I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording. Okay, the toggle button now shows running. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this computer monitor icon, and it's going to download a file. I'll do it one more time just so you can see it. It's going to download that RDP file. So I'll go ahead and run that file. And I'm going to go ahead and click connect. And it's going to prompt me for a password. And the student user password and the password for the Linux VM as well is password01. Password01, capital P. We can click remember me. I'll make it a little easier next time. And we'll go ahead and click don't ask me again, and then yes. And this will connect us to our virtual lab environment. And we'll go ahead and take a screenshot of this. Now, one note, it's a good idea to resize your window because what you'll end up wanting to do, let's do this. What we're going to do is click over here and take a screenshot showing that we're logged into the VM. And we'll go to Word. And we can paste this into our Word document. Okay, and maybe we put a heading on this, the image here, screenshot of Azure Lab Environment. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go to Hyper-V Manager right here. While that loads up, one thing to notice is that this computer that we've logged into is running Windows Server 2019. Let's go here. And it's actually showing it down below. Let's see. Scroll down. Okay. We can't actually see it on this view. I apologize. I don't know why that is. So let's go ahead and resize. And let's boot up Hyper-V Manager. And you're going to get something that looks very much like this. And you see here that yours is going to say Ubuntu. Okay. Ubuntu, again, is a distribution of Linux, very popular in beginning users circles. And then you have a Windows 10 virtual machine. So let's go ahead. There's two ways to do this to launch a VM. We can double click on it. So I'll double click on the Windows 10 VM. And we get a window that says asks us to start the VM. So we'll go ahead and click start, and it's going to boot up. And it will take just a moment. While that's booting up, I'm going to go ahead and move over to Hyper-V Manager again, and I will right click on the Linux Ubuntu VM. Again, yours is going to say Ubuntu. I'm going to right click and I can go to start. And once it says running, which happens really quickly, once it says running, go ahead and double click on it. And we can see that it is also actually still booting up. So let's go ahead and just let that do its thing. And we can go back to our Windows VM and we can cascade these if we want to. Here. All right. We'll just give it a moment here to do its thing. No, it's running an update. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording here real quick. Okay, so the Linux VM came up. So we'll work in the Linux VM first. What you're going to do, you're going to click on this just in case user. And again, the password is password01, capital P. Okay, I'll click the eyeball here and you can see it. We'll go ahead and hit enter. Again, password01 with a capital P. Okay. And when this comes up, we'll go ahead and take a screenshot of this. And just as a reminder, I'll show you again what we did in class. We'll go ahead and go down to the bottom here. Let's see. And what you want to do when you start this, one thing to do to make it easier on yourself is you can go down here to the tiles. You can click this and go up to the search bar and type terminal or term. You can right click on this and go add to favorites. Oop, add to favorites. And what we've done here is added it to the sidebar right here. Okay. And we're going to use this terminal application in the 2 lab activities that we do in week 3 of this course. I'm going to go ahead and hit the restore down button here up at the top and go ahead and take a screenshot. I'll hit this as well. So go ahead and click over here, go back to here. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and take this screenshot. and we'll paste that into our Word document. And we'll put Linux VM, and we'll go ahead and go to the Windows, and it is still updating. So I will go ahead and pause the recording. So the Windows VM went ahead and updated, and we can now log into it. So there's a couple things that we can do. One of the things that'll happen more in IT 160, but I'm going to go ahead and show you this Hyper-V Manager trick now. We need to we for this VM we can press any key, but let's go ahead and just show you real quick here how to wake this computer up and let us log in. We can go ahead and hit Control Alt Delete, and we click this little button right here, and it will send that Control Alt Delete wake up sequence to the computer. Again, we're going to use our favorite password 01. And we'll go ahead and hit enter or click the little right arrow button here, and we're going to get logged in. And at this point, we can go ahead and take a screenshot again and go ahead and paste that into our document. Windows screenshot. Okay, and we'll do that. And I don't know where my typo went there. Here. Okay. All right. And that is the 3 screenshots you need from the Azure Lab environment. So we can go ahead and go back to Hyper-V Manager. We can right click here and go to shut down. And once these 2 VMs are turned off, we'll go ahead and close our Hyper-V Manager window. So they both say off. Let's go ahead and close this. And then we can go ahead and go down here to Windows. And we can turn this off. Okay. Alrighty. So in this video, again, I have demonstrated how to get into the Azure Labs environment and start and stop your VMs. I've also shown you how to get into the Cisco Packet Tracer application, as well as logging into Net Academy and getting your Net Academy account set up. As always, if you do have any questions, please feel free to send me an email at jeff.hart@greenriver.edu. And you can always use my Calendly link to schedule a one-on-one meeting, either via Zoom or in person. If you do want an in-person meeting, just let me know, maybe in the comments in the description. When you're sending me an email, please make sure to include as much details as you can. That will help me to address your issue quicker. As always, I hope you're having a great day. Take it easy and keep up the great work.